Hi everyone, Joe here. How are you? Welcome back to my channel for another one of my Decorate With Me for Fall 2019. It's a series of these. I'm not quite sure how many they are. I haven't really been numbering them or keeping track of them. I'm trying to pump them out as fast as I can. Um, if you've never seen me before, my name is Joe, and you'll often hear me talk about my wife, Marianne, and I enjoy doing a lot of seasonal decorating and holiday decorating, especially the big holidays and so on. But the channel also has other things in it, other things pertaining to the house, fixing and whatnot, and my wife does do some cooking videos. We're trying to get her to do a little bit more, but it's been hard pinning her down. So hopefully she will be doing some fall recipes as we move into autumn now. Um, a little bit about me. In terms of my decorating, I guess I'm more of a traditionalist. I don't lean much towards the contemporary, and that's just the style that we like. And in terms of how I decorate for the holidays, I was trying to think of it the other day. I think it's a little bit kind of like it's like a fantasy based kind of decorating. It's usually based on visions that I've had of holidays from the past or seasons from the past from when I was a kid. The sights, the sounds, the smells, and everything else. And I think I try to recreate that in a dream-like kind of a way. I don't know if that sounds weird or if it's you can understand what I'm trying to say. Like a lot of times, I know we get it for Christmas. I mean, because we have a lot of nostalgic things that we use for Christmas. But even with the fall, like I have a special kind of thing that I think about the fall. Like we go to the farms and you go pumpkin picking, or the smells of apple pie and pumpkin pie cooking and all of those kind of things. And I try to take those thoughts and turn them into a design so that when people see something I've created, it sets something off in their own brain that they can relate to. So I think I'm somewhat successful because I do hear from a lot of you that you do become inspired when you see some things that I've done, or you do have it does evoke some kind of feelings from you based on some of my designs. So hopefully I can continue to do that, and hopefully you will continue to be happy with what you see me do. In today's video, I'm just doing, it's a very small, short video. It's the little hutch that we have in the family room. Doing something on the top and on the shelves. It's a small little thing, and the sofa table which is behind the one sofa as you enter into the family room. And I think that is the most whimsical thing that I'm doing this year, because I said to myself, I'm not using scarecrows in the house and crows and any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to do that in the window in the front of the house, but I'm not doing it in the house because I wanted it to have a more elegant kind of Tuscan-esque kind of a look. So if you haven't noticed, if you're following, there hasn't been any of those cutesy little things all over the place. I'm just not doing that this year. It was a conscious decision not to do that. And it's hard because I have a lot of that stuff, and I keep, thinking, oh, I should use one of those things, but I've been refraining from doing that. So anyway, let's move on, and I hope you enjoyed this little video. Okay. Okay, so today I'm starting on this tiny little hutch that we have catty-cornered here in the family room, which is on the other side of the room from the mantle, if you saw that video. So I'm going to start up on the top here, and I think I'm going to use that lantern that I use off and on if you've been following me, if you watch any of my videos. Let me go get that. So here's that lantern I'm talking about. This actually was given to me by one of my former students who, you know, sees my stuff on Facebook and YouTube, and she was getting rid of it. So she asked me if I could use it. So, of course I said, yeah, I'll take it. And I took the guts out of it and I use it for a variety of things. I'm sure, like I said, if you follow me, you've seen it on the dining room table, you've seen it on the living room coffee table, you've seen it all over the place. Right now, I've decided that I want to reuse it as a lantern again. So I put a light on the inside. I'll turn it on in a second. But if you notice, I carried those grapes. I had one last strand of these grapes left because I want to continue that Tuscan look in here as well. I want to make it a cohesive look. So they're here and there all over the place, and I wanted one place in here. So just hold on, let me turn it on. So I put that light inside the lantern to make it look like a lantern, and I lit the grapes up on the top. All right, I have to move on now. I had 3 more of those big leaves, so I put them, asymmetric on this one side because that lantern holds a lot of weight on that upper right side, so I needed to pull the weight over onto the left side. So I kind of tried to make it look cascading, like they were just falling off of the side. And I have to address the top part of that lantern. I put in some florals to echo the mantle on the other side. So I have these orange daisies and some of these other picks and a couple of burgundy things in there and some cattails as well, just to kind of echo what's on the other side of the room. So I think I'm going to start inside the cabinet, and I might have to address that up there. Something's missing, but I didn't figure it out yet. I found these plates today, and they were only $1 a piece. So they're that like that plastic melamite or I don't know how to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. And right now I have them like in a pyramid, 1 and then 2 and then 3. I don't know if it's going to stay like that, but right now that's where we are. So there's the lantern, and you see I put some picks and the flowers and the grapes and so on. And then on this side over here, I just put a couple of more burgundy pumpkins and a wine bottle and another vase back there. It has a kind of leafy top. It's hidden behind there. And some raffia just to kind of like loosen that up a little bit. And then on this shelf, I have those plates and then this glass pumpkin with some Shasta daisy and some leaves in it. And then this level right here, the plates. And then I have a cornucopia here with the sugared fruit and some of these sequined kind of pumpkins that they glisten all together. And then down on this level right here, you have the plates and some pine cones. And let me back up so you can get a view of this. The light was so bright, I just shut the light so you can have a better view of it. I think you can see it a little bit better without everything glaring off of one another. So that's a little hutch. So next thing I'm going to do is this sofa table. I have this idea to make this piece for the sofa table as you enter into the family room, and I think I'm going to try to create it in this wicker basket here because it looks brown on the video, but it's actually burgundy, and it goes with the rest of the ideas that I'm doing. It might turn out to be a little bit more whimsical than anything else I've done, but it is the entrance into the family room. Let's see where it goes. So far what I did was I put some books in that tray there just to give me some height and some levels, and then I took a piece of this green, indoor outdoor grass carpeting that I use in so many different places in so many different seasons. So I always have it handy, and I'm going to use that as my base for this little pumpkin patch that I'm going to make. I put this bale of hay in, and I did unwrap it, and it does make a mess, but I didn't want it with the plastic on it. And I've had it a while. I unwrapped it a long time ago, but before I knew better. But I mean, it sheds, but it's manageable. And I stuck this sign in here, welcome to our patch. And I was going to actually make one of these, and then I figured, how could I pass this up for $1? So I figured, let me just get this. Next, I put in these 3 pumpkins, and I just have to like fill in all of these spots with some florals and stuff. All right, I think I finished this piece. So see what I did was I added some greenery. I had some of this vine, and I kind of, because it didn't want to do what I wanted it to do, so I put a little bit of floral wire in, and then I just punched it through the pumpkin. And I did that again on the side so that it would fall where I wanted it to fall. And then I added in some of these florals, and somebody was nice enough to tell me they're called bittersweet because I couldn't remember what they were called. And then I added some Shasta daisies because I do have them in the room. So again, it carries that idea over. A couple of the burgundy flowers as well. And then I just threw some leaves around here and there on this grassy carpet. And I put some grapevine in just to make it look like, it was a field, and a little bit of those lights. So here's how that piece came out. Let me just back up a little bit so you can see. Okay. So welcome to our pumpkin patch, and I'm going to put this on the sofa table, and I'm going to go do that right now. So here we are at the sofa table, and we're all ready to go to decorate it. Okay, so I put that here, and I put it over to the side because I'm going to make this a little bit asymmetrical on the top rather than this plopped right in the middle. I'm going to use this box that I wrapped in a brown paper bag. I kind of like to use those a lot of times in the fall because I don't know why, but I just feel like it gives it like that earthy kind of a feeling, that brown paper bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on here mercury glass containers that Marianne found in the Christmas tree shop a couple of years back. Just hold on while I get those. These are those mercury glass containers, and they're really nice. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put flameless candles in there, but we have to go back to Costco because Marianne just found them there. There were 5 for $20. They were having a sale on them, and of course one of the boxes that we got, the 2 of the candles didn't work, so we have to bring them back. So I guess when you see the house tour, you'll see the flameless candles in there. All right, so I made this little topiary a long time ago. I actually found this form in the rag shop. Remember that place? That was a long time ago. So it was here, and it has like a styrofoam ball up on the top, and I just wrapped it with this ivy and put some of the Spanish moss in there. And then I use it, for different seasons. I take it out in the spring, and I leave it out in the summer. And actually, I put it away, and I just went to get it because I think I want to put it right next to the patch sign. And so what I started to do is I just added in, I have it in this copper pail too, which again, Marianne found a bunch of copper pails in this other store that went out of business too. I think it was called Odd Job Lots. So it hasn't been around in a while, but she got a bunch of these, and again, I use them in a lot of different places. But I started here by putting in these fall leaves and that little pumpkin there with the little corn, and I'm going to wire in some colored leaves up on the top now. That's what I did. I just, actually, I didn't have any more of that vine left or any picks or anything, so I just took these free hand leaves and I punctured them with the floral wire, and I made like little Christmas hooks on there, and I just wired them into the tree. So there it is in its place, and I like it. It looks like a little patch there. On this second shelf, I used this very colorful basket here. It has a neat construction, and it's orange and green and browns and beiges, and I used those sparkly purple pumpkins to tie in with the grapes on that piece that's right next door to here. And I just put, again, I put some Christmas garland in there, a piece of it, and I just stuck in some leaves, and then I put the floral wire in the bottom of those little pumpkins, and I made them into picks, and then they go right into the garland, and they stay where you want them to stay. And then I just put a few different wicker baskets here on this shelf, and I just threw some leaves in there because if you remember from the last video, I told you there's kind of like a fine line between a vignette and a display and clutter. So you have to be careful, especially when you're layering one thing, on top of another, on top of another. Now on the bottom shelf, I think I'm just going to use this basket that Marianne found in the Christmas tree shop, and I think I just want to put pine cones in there, but I don't have any left that don't have snow on them right now, so that's questionable. And here I'm going to put a couple of these pictures that I made a few years back. They're just dollar store leaves, and I pasted them on some paper and I framed them. So I'll show you that when I finish that. Okay, changed my mind on the bottom here. I have this pumpkin I put, and I did find a couple of pine cones, not many, so I just stuck them in there for now, and some greenery, and that pumpkin spice candle that I love so much. I love the smell. I just open up that container and take a deep breath of that every once in a while. And just two little candle holders there on each side. So there's the coffee table. Okay, so I went out for a while and I came back and I looked at what I did and I was just like, oh no, that's not good. That's got to change. Just what I talked to you about, the visual clutter, that's what it was visual clutter. And what happened, the reason that happened was because it was one shelf on top of another, they just kind of all jammed together as a clutter. And I was looking at them individually as I was, working on them. So I had to take everything apart. That top part in the basket was nice, but it would have been great on a table all by itself. But because of its location, it was very bulky. So I had to take everything out of it and start again. And I deleted everything on the shelves in the bottom, and I started again, and I'll show you that too. So I'll end this video by showing you how I redid that, and also I tweaked that little hutch again too. So hold on one second. So here's the new and improved version. So what I did was I took that basket I made apart and I put that grass carpet as a runner across the top of the table. And then I put in the hay bale first, and then the topiary tree right here next to it. And then I put in the other two pumpkins, and then I just put some foliage around. Some of them are just loose leaves, some of them are picks. I added in the Shasta daisies just to carry that idea throughout also. And I added in this little basket. It kind of looks like they were going to pick some pumpkins if they were really miniature people, I guess. But, remember, it's just supposed to be like a fantasy. And then I added in some of those EGG corns, the acorns that I made out of those Easter eggs, and just a little bit of those little battery packed lights. So that is the top shelf. Then on the next shelf, what I did was I got rid of that upright basket. I had those in, and Marianne's not sure if she likes these purple pumpkins or not. So they might change. We're going to see. But right now, that's what's there. And so I use that elongated basket better. It fills up that space. Put a piece of garland in there, some of those leaves, and then added in those pumpkins I made as picks. And then we just got these yesterday, these little boxes in the Dollar Tree. So we put those on each side. And then down on the bottom here, I have that pumpkin, and I have him sitting on a bunch of greenery with some leaves and some pine cones, and then two kind of pillar candles on each side. So let me get up and back up so you can see that. All right, so this is what you see as we enter into the family room. There's a table. I think it looks better. It's not as overwhelming, it's not as cluttered, and it's definitely not visual clutter. Just let me show you what I just tweaked a little bit on that hutch. I don't think this shelf changed. This one, I just added some more like glittery pumpkins to pick up some light. And then down on this shelf as well, I added some glittery pumpkins too. So that's that little hutch. Okay, everybody, so that brings us to the end of this video. I have a few more things to do in the family room, which I'll show you in the next video, and in the room adjacent to that. Hopefully that'll be coming up in a couple of days. And like always, please, if you just stumbled upon me, consider subscribing to my channel. It would be really great, and put on that notification bell so you don't miss anything that is coming up in my fall and in my Christmas series. Follow me on Facebook at Designs by Joe, and give me a thumbs up and a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Okay, everybody, I hope everybody's doing well. And today is the 21st, and we are in the autumnal equinox, which will take up until September 23rd, which marks the first real day of autumn. But we are in that transition right now. So happy autumn, everybody. All right, take care. See you soon. Say bye, Marianne.